Hi all, right back with some more DD at Saipan. This is part 18. I'm just right back after copying that bit across for 17. While I was copying it over, I looked through the rules and yeah, right enough. Martin was right. Like I say, he commented about depth markers. This is page 22, 9.2.3 depth marker depletion. If the Japanese depth marker pool is empty when a depth marker is called for, no depth marker may be taken. When I read that at first, I thought, surely Martin must have something wrong there, because there's a load of them, so that must mean some of them are being removed. However, then follows an important note. If a Japanese depth marker is eliminated while out of communication, it is permanently eliminated. So it needs to be out of communication. If the depth marker is in communication, it is returned to the depth marker pool. This applies anytime a depth marker is removed from the map. So there we go, that's right enough. So what I'll do is, I've got another bowl here and I'll just chuck all them in there, basically, because I don't want to try and mix this one up with the rest of them, you know. So I'll chuck them in there, and whenever we get called for a depth marker, I'll just shuffle that about a bit and then draw something, hopefully the right way, and I'll work on that for there. Okay. Right, let's get back. So we're just after a rather abysmal close combat, our first close combat, and it failed kind of miserably, didn't it? So, yeah, that didn't help with anything up there. I wanted to do that first so that I could see about the possibility of, yeah, if we were moving these units about. So I think these can still, well, you know what, I'm going to go and pause a little bit and have a wee think about what I'm doing, rather than, and then I'll let you know then what I'm doing or what I'm thinking. Okay, I think I'm going to move these two units around underneath that's disrupted. There's no fire, there's just yellow that fires into there. Yeah, it's just yellow that fires into there. It's disrupted anyway. Well, actually, yellow does fire into there as well, so that would have been relevant. So I'm going to move these from there to there, I think. Oh, Grant. That was stupid then, wasn't it? Well, I mean, there's loads of depth markers. But I would have cut off communication if I'd done that first, wouldn't I? And it was disrupted at the time, so I could have carried out the barrage, then made that move. Well, I'd been more bothered if it was a unit that was escaping, withdrawing, but that it was just a depth marker. We could have got eliminated, but there's a big bunch of them, as you've just seen. So yeah, I think I'll do that. This is just steady fire in red, so that's disrupted, right? I think I'm going to do this actually. I think I'm going to move that into here. That's why I'd move that counter off, because this is actually 3rd Battalion in here. Now one unit's taking 2 step losses, one's taking 1, but I had to spend an action on them this time. So again, this is disrupted, so we're not going through any, what fires in there? Green, yellow and purple. That's fine. Yeah, I think I'll do that. And then I suppose I want to try and maybe, oh yeah, that action's for down below, isn't it? Yeah, I'm going to have to use an action on that to move it though, but I would quite like to get into that green position, I think. Okay. Right, I think this heavy weapons unit, he's got a free action, so this looks a safer hex to be in. And he'd be at range of that red position too. But he wouldn't be in field of fire. That's rubbish, yeah. I don't think they had that in old games, did they? That you could fire at range I don't think you had to be in the field of fire to fire at range. Can we move him 2 then? I don't think so, can we? Because woods, well, yeah, I was asking about this earlier, wasn't I? It says +1 to leg movement, which tends to make you think, well, normal leg movement's 1, so +1 is 2. So that would be 2 to move into there. And there is a road there though, but it's a railroad. Can we move along a railroad? It's this 1 leg. Oh. Okay, I would be able to do that then. Just think it'd be better in there. Yeah, it looks like, because the movement cost for leg movement along a railroad. And it's saying other terrain in hex though, again. And the other terrain in that hex is woods. I'm not grasping this at all, am I? How can even a terrain key and movement effects chart confuse me? Is all this just me? Well, I know it's not. I know that for a fact, but maybe some of it is. Well, hang on. Well, let's look at a road, because a road says other terrain in hex as well. Why is it saying other terrain in hex though? I mean, okay, this is a road with other terrain in hex is a woods. You know, if I'm not moving along the road, yeah, let's look up. Let's see if it gives you something about roads. The only bit it talks about road strategic movement. It really affects infantry after game turn 8, when up to 2 full battalions of infantry may utilise road movement as a form of strategic movement. The other part is just that you moving with AFVs, which I'm still not grasping the need. I mean, if Joe mentioned how this works, and he was talking about, can you not get the sort of LVTs to move you? I don't know. I'd have to see somebody making a playthrough of that and see how that works, because I mean, it also taught you can't move if you're moving within a Japanese unit of 3 hexes. You can't. Unit does not enter a hex within 3 hexes of a Japanese occupied position while moving by road. And there's no mention of the Japanese unit having to be in an undisrupted state. So that kind of tells me that I couldn't really move much. I mean, where are you going to move? There's units all around you. You know, you can't move within 3 of them on the road. Yeah. There's definitely no way that is the line that you need to be achieving victory points. If it is, then people say Pello is a hard game to win. Well, I'll tell you what, this is impossible. That would be impossible. And I'd need to see somebody playing it and prove me wrong. Anyway, I don't know. I'm quite grasping this terrain thing. The +1s, the other terrain in hex. I mean, why has it got woods and then in brackets other terrain in hex? What does that mean? I mean, yeah, I can see there's woods hex here. Other terrain in the hex. There's a road and there's a railway. But if you look at road and railroad, it shows other terrain in hex as well. That's more understandable to me, because that tells me that there's a road, but it's going in through the woods. How can the woods have other terrain in hex? The woods, well, the woods has got some road and railroad. Is that the other terrain? Meh, I don't know. Right, here's what I'm going to take from this, but if somebody can clear this up for me without me asking yet another question. I'm moving from here to here. To me, it seems to me that I'm moving into the woods, okay? So, and it says +1 to leg movement. My guess is normal leg movement is 1, so I'm going to add 1 to that, that's 2. So I have 3 movement points. So I've only got 1 movement point left. Once I reach this woods, I'm on a road and I'm on a railroad. I guess I could choose which. Now both railroad and road have a leg movement cost of 1. So does that mean I can move 2 into there and then say I'm on the railroad, I'm going to come down this railroad for just 1 rather than move into the woods? That seems logical to me. I'm doing that. So I've spent 3 movement points. I haven't, no, there's no movement under fire because although I moved from intense red there was no red into there, and then I moved into steady red to finish. Hold on. See, when I left the intense red, what's that bit about? I think, sorry, I'm moving the wrong one back there. I'm taking this back. He was like that. I did have an action for him, didn't I? Yeah, I must have done. Right, let me find that bit again about moving out of... Or was it only if it was adjacent? Oh, hang on. Yeah, I can't do any of that. Page 14, we've read this bit before. 7.3.1, movement limitations. The very last bullet. When a non-tank unit leaves an intense field of fire in a non-muff situation, so in a non-movement under fire situation, which this is what this is, because I wouldn't be moving under fire, the unit must expend all its movement points unless the unit is accompanied by a tank unit. So that even spoils that. Now that's written in the rules and I get it, so I'm not challenging anything. I'm just frustrated by the fact that I couldn't do what I was wanting to do there. And I'm now sitting in, if I do move into here, like I've said, I'm not in this red's field of fire, so I cannot support this attack. Rubbish. Okay. Right, where's the units above? Where are they meant to be? Oh, were they in this hex? Sorry, my bad. They must have been in here. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's what I was going to put underneath. But then I realised I could maybe reach this hex, which I can't. Okay, well I've got to spend all my movement points to reach that hex, so at least it's a safer hex, because I'm out of intense red, intense yellow, yeah, etc. So I will do that. Now, this guy on top is just going to be a disruption removal, because he cannot preservation move, because he's not adjacent to a Japanese position and he's not in a beach hex. So this will be disruption removal. This will be as well, even though he's in a beach hex, he can't move into there or there. So he's just been in a horrible place. Okay, well, I'm going to come back to this one because I would need to use another action to move what's on top there. That action that I've used is for the unit on the way in the bottom. And there's some disruption in there as well. Well, we could probably preservation move that. And like Martin has reminded me, it's not something that needs to wait till the end of the turn. Ah, well, aye, it is, because if it's disrupted, it is, Grant. Yeah, that's right. So let's leave that just now as well then. Okay, move down a bit, just looking at this red and blue. And I remember watching back and thinking, wow, red and blue didn't fire there, didn't it? And that was quite... You know, you look at the bad bits that happen in the Japanese fire phase, and then if you really study it and then see what didn't fire, you think, wow, maybe it wasn't as bad as I thought. I mean, not everything can fire, so... Okay, I'm looking at possibly attacking this. Oh, these are on the hill, aren't they? Yeah, these are elevated. Both of them. And what does that do again? So it's a contour. So is that a level 3 then? Like, normal clear terrain is level 1, rough terrain is level 2, and yeah, hill terrain is level 3, and it's showing it as a, well, it's kind of brown. It doesn't look, the terrain for hill and mountain look the same, but is it maybe just darker? Possibly. You could say that stuff up the back there is probably mountain, isn't it? And whereas what I'm looking at just now, yeah, you can see the darker stuff up there, mountain, and this stuff here is hill. So, which I think this is what this little bit's on. Sorry, in there. I've just moved the units out of there. Doesn't quite look that colour, but you can see the contours, so they're both on top of a hill, aren't they? Right. Well, that says they're level 3, and it says for combat it's 2 times Japanese unit strength. Oh, by the way, just what I'm talking about, when I was looking through the rules there, the pillbox, although I didn't read right into it, which might be relevant to the situation down here, is it triples the strength not only of the unit but the depth marker as well. And yet, I mean, on the actual combat effects chart, it just says Japanese defense strength times 3. I suppose it's not saying the unit, but it does say in the rules there. I just read it and it was like times 3 for both. So that's pretty strong. And not only that, that's in a woods hex as well. So we would half our firepower into that hex, and they would get 3 times the whole lot. Okay. So if they're going to get double, well, the good thing is we're not getting we're not getting half firing into it. Just means they're getting double. Yeah, okay. Well, it's probably pretty bad. Well, I was looking, because this is 2nd Battalion of 8th Regiment, and this is 2nd Battalion. Everything else is disrupted there. So I'm not sure. Is there range stuff in there? Ooh, yeah, we could get some of that as well then. So, and then, oh, actually, he's at range too, Grant. He's taking a step loss, so he's not at range. In fact, hang on. Let's look at this guy to make sure he's not got a step loss marker. He has. Well, we've got a tank in there. Let's bring the tank up top, I think. So we can't use that from range either. I'll just put the tank there just now, because I think I'm going to put that to use. And we can't get range from that. This is disrupted. This is from another regiment, battalion, whatever. So if we attack this with 2nd Battalion, we're going to get 310. Now the other one, where is it? It's in here. We've got a heavy weapons unit in there. So my understanding is that he can join, but he could join. The thing is, if I give him a command, if I give him a free action, does that not mean he's got to tag along with 1st Battalion? I don't know. If he's getting a free action, surely he can do what he wants, but I think, well, the fact you've got the tank, Grant, and the tank can't stretch to there. So I think what you probably want to do is attack the red position with this stack of 11 strength. And then that would be 710, and that would get halved. So it would be half rounded up though, so that's 2, so 7, 9, and then the tank doesn't get halved, so that'd be 13. So 13, let's just call them 2s. 13 to 4, that is 3 to 1 on that one. And we're calling them 2s, but they could just as easily be 3s. And then what did I say this one was? This one was 11 only. So 11 to 2 would be 11 to 4. That wouldn't be 3 to 1. Good selection of weapons though. We'd have all the weapons against both of them. So there is that. All free actions. This would get a free action. The tank. And then this would give this a free action. I think that's the best we can really try and go for. Yeah. Do we do that then? Yeah, I think so. What one's better to go for first in case we then change our mind? Not so sure it matters. If we were to take either one out, it wouldn't encourage us to maybe move instead, would it? What fires into there? Intense blue and then intense red, brown into there. Oh, let's just go for the blue one. That's the one with better chance of 3 to 1, isn't it? So this guy attacks, free action from the headquarters, supported by this tank. There's no real need to keep the tank for anything else, really, is there? So I'm going to pop the tank down the bottom. That's 11. Yeah, because tank doesn't get reduced. And then this guy I'm going to attack with as well. I'm as well putting him down the bottom too. Yeah, it's messy, isn't it? I could pause while I'm doing this though. That's what I should be doing. Sorry guys. So 7, 11, and then that was 3, but it would get halved because, oh yeah, it is in blue, it is in blue. Remember, they've got to be in the field of fire. Remember that, that's in blue as well, so that was okay. So 7, 11, and then 3 halved, rounded up to 2 is 13. So we've got 13, it's full strength into there, full firepower into there. 13, this is going to get doubled, whatever it is. Okay, this is just a 2. It's a machine gun unit. Did we get the flamethrower? Do you naturally get a flamethrower? Hopefully. Yes, you do. Infantry with full strength attacking from adjacent hex. Flamethrower. It's right there. Perfect. So 13 against 4. We have the weapons. We've got 3 to 1. This guy's eliminated. Good stuff. Okay, we know these are all weakish units we're getting, but it's going to get harder, isn't it? But it makes you feel like you're getting somewhere. So, yeah, I was wondering, once we eliminated this, would we be tempted to maybe not attack this and then, but we'd be moving from, I don't see the point in that, is it? I think we should take a chance and go for this. This has got the full set of weapons as well. Hasn't it, the heavy weapons? I'm pretty sure they have. Yeah, they have the exact same if they're attacking from adjacent. Now we've not considered using artillery and the likes. Ooh, I wonder if that might be something to consider here. Let's have a look at, can we get maybe artillery support here? Because we've got 6 points. If we just use, can you use, right, wait till I pause and find out about artillery. I can't do that. I need to be in command range of a regimental HQ. So actually that guy could have done it because he is in command and this guy's just outside. You need to be in command of regimental HQ and is in the field of fire of the target hex and has radios. So yeah, how would that work then? Yeah, so just looking, because we lose, they can only be used once per day, artillery points. I just wonder, could I have just used one artillery point and then would that up my strength from 11 to 12, which is kind of what we'd want, just to get that possible 3 to 1. It says if AS or artillery points expended, they satisfy all. Yeah, it's just. Yeah, I'm assuming. It says the player may never assign more than 4 divisional points and no more than 5 to the same attack or barrage. So I'm assuming each point must add 1 point of strength then. Hang on. Yeah. 1. The strength of the naval gunfire or airstrike marker or the number of artillery points expended is added to the attack strength. Yeah, okay, so it is as simple as that. That's a shame, because I would have added a point there. Right, well you can't, Grant. Okay, right, so I'm still going to do this then. So we're attacking with 11. Then here, no, we're looking for another weak unit, really. Well, as long as we've got the weapons, I think we might be okay. So 11 into here, this unit is going to get doubled. Right, hang on. Just wondering, there's not a tank. No, there's not. Or if there is, it's disrupted down the bottom. Just there's a tank. Sorry, you're not seeing that. Just wonder if I might have got tank support for here, but this is too far away. Right, okay, I'm going with them. So 11 against, it's a 1. Another machine gun unit. So you're starting to see that a lot of these around the coast aren't too strong. Well, there's quite a few elites, but I'm not so sure we've seen a 3 yet, have we? They've all been 2s and 1s. But yeah, generally the games of the past kind of led you into that false sense of security. Then you moved inland a bit and yeah, kaboom. So 11 to 2, yeah, we've got the weapons, just the bazooka. Yeah, he's gone. So, of course, first time playing the game, you're a little more cautious, aren't you? So once you've played it once or twice, you'll realise that, yeah, I could take a chance with that and go in with a lot less strength and maybe achieve something. Okay, right, that was successful. Okay, so I'm just picking all the easy stuff that we know. When you're adjacent to a Japanese unit, you really want to say, right, I'm having a go at this. I think the trickier moves are moving units. Just moving units rather than attacking. But this guy's in the woods. He's on his own. We do have... this is 10. This is from the same battalion. So this is 10 strength. The rest underneath disrupted. We do have this tank that would add another 4. And the rest disrupted. So that's the most we could go for. At first I was wondering about, can we just go with a little bit and then maybe get a move. But the move into the hex is going to draw movement under fire anyway. So it's maybe just as well concentrating everything and remove the brown, the brown fire that's going to come and get you, Grant. Actually though, hang on. Yeah, just thinking these disrupted units would get a preservation move, and although it would be movement under fire, it would be into that safer hex. But then it'd be, well, you know what? They're either going to be disrupted in that hex or undisrupted in the hexes, which aren't much good. So, yeah, this could be... Assuming we can movement under fire into there, I might be looking at that. Okay, I'm going to give it the whole lot then, because we're going to get halved because of the woods. So this is going to attack, and I'll just put this down the bottom. So that's 10 strength. Oops. We've got another unit in there with Stetlos marker. So 10 in there. Again, pause the camera, Grant. Sorry. And I'm going to add this tank as well. So I'm going to put it down the bottom, but I'll pause the camera. Okay, there we go. So I've got 14 attacking into there. Is into the woods. He is on his own. So, sorry, 14. Well, we're getting 7. It's only 7 attack strength. Yeah. Mind you, he's on his own. So, yeah, 2. As long as it's a 2, we're good. And we are bringing all the weapons, I think. Right, let's see. Here we go. That is a 2. Oh, it's got a CC. Damn. Well, the good thing is it's a 2. Because we're going to get disruption, aren't we? So, just checking the chart. We had 14 cut in half to 7. Because we're finding it in the woods. 7 to 2. No bonuses to his 2. So we got 3 to 1. We, however, dropped down 1 row to 2 to 1 because we don't have the CC requirement. So we get JD results, so disruption. That was majorly what you want. You don't want the guy to not be... That's the wrong counter. Here's one of the other ones. Yeah, so he's disrupted. Ah, yeah, but we were going to move into that hex, weren't we? Ah, I forgot about that. Ah, well. Well, at least we got something. We know what it is. Yeah, because now we're going to have to just sit and remove disruption. Actually, he's disrupted. Is this another question I brought up? Can we remove disruption if we're adjacent to disrupted and it's intense field of fire? Which I'm assuming it's in brown. Yeah. I can't remember. We'll get to that. Disruption's going to come off at the end anyway. Okay, Grant. Where are we now? Right, now it's the trickier part is to try and decide how we're going to move some of this stuff. Okay, looking at this guy down here, he's got a step loss. He got a free action from his regimental HQ. This is a clear hex, and this is a woods hex. So we add a +1. So it could, the way I'm seeing that, 1, 2, 3 into there. Now he's not leaving green. He's not leaving he's not leaving a field of fire that's going to affect him. And that was where, I mean, if I tried to make this move before this had been removed, it would have been hopeless. So you can see that doing things in the way that you do them, or you know, okay, maybe it was obvious to try and take these guys out first and see where we were at. But now there's no fire. I'm not having to use all my movement points to move out of an intense field of fire. That's what I'm saying. And brown is not occupied. So, and then there's no movement under fire. It's not that I'm moving. Green doesn't fire into here either. So I think I can do this. 1 and then 2, 3 into there. So going to go with that. Now he was from 1st Battalion. There's his headquarters there with the heavy weapons, but it gets him up adjacent. I mean, thing is, if he was to attack here, this guy can't support because he's from a different battalion. Oh, he's from 1st. Well, that's risky, isn't it? He's got step laws. And then you've got a LVTA underneath. What fires into there? Blue and brown. Not really an issue. If we were to move into there, it's an intense red. Intense green, sorry. But there's no... Yeah, there'd be no movement under fire, so we could move them both. However, that's an action, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to be an action. So we've only got one action left, and we're talking about maybe wanting to move this. I don't know, maybe that's not that important because yellow was disrupted. I don't think this, well, actually red probably fires into there, doesn't it? Can I maybe see that? Try to grab it. No, it doesn't show you on that map. That's where it could have been useful to have the extra wee map. Let me see. I don't see a red dot at the top. I see a yellow and a green. Yeah, but it is 1, 2, 3 hexes away, so I'm going to have a look. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Right. No, I'm going to make a mess of that. That bottom unit's had a move. Right, hang on. Okay, right, put that back together again. So, what was my dilemma there? Yeah, so don't necessarily need to really move that. He's safe enough. And in fact, the disrupted unit, whatever it is, I can't remember, could probably preservation move into there. So, okay, we're going to say we don't really need an action for that. So we might be able to spend this action down here. What was it to do this? Move this across, maybe. Can you see any other actions that you might want, Grant? Well, these are all free. This is the only other one that we need to pay for. So, yeah, I mean, does he want to? I suppose at some point he probably does want to make that move, doesn't he? He's sitting in a nice safe hex. Again, he wants to be able to reach this red dotted line. I mean, that's what I'm going for, shall we say, by the end of turn 4. And looking at it, I mean, I'm not so sure. I mean, we maybe got 2 or 3 at the moment. I don't know, because this, sorry, you're not seeing that, because this still counts as a field of fire, even if it is disrupted. So we need to remove this before we get these points. And blue, you've got to remember, blue might fire on it there. So it's really hard to, it's not just about getting, oh no, hang on, I'm lying there, sorry. It's not control, is it? It's just being adjacent to the line and being able to trace US communication. So these are points, 1, 2. Well, no, you've still got to trace the communication, Grant. And you can't trace through field of fire. Even if disrupted, I think. Okay, I'm going to spend my last action, just get this out of the way, and move. Are we taking the LVTA as well? I think so. We might as well just keep them together. So I'm moving from there into there. Now the LVT, that's moving into, what is that moving into? Sugarcane, is that? Sugarcane cultivated. So there's no issues with that movement for a vehicle, I don't think. Do you want to do that, Grant? Yeah, I suppose taking that away last might. Yeah, let's do that. So that's our last action that we get for the division, for the second division. So that means we're not going to be able to move these guys, but I'm fine about that. Not going to be able to move these. Right. So I'm not sure I want to move into this yet, but then, yeah, no, I have to get in here, don't I? So this is 3rd Battalion. Eeks. Is it a full strength unit? I think it is. It is. It's got an LVT below it. Or moving from intense to intense. That's an intense purple. So yeah, well, more reason to take the LVT with us then. Yeah, let's do that. Let's make this move because this is 3-8, and we could get some. Is he step loss? No, he's not. We could get some range support from there. That's good. Right, I'm going to make a. This is from intense to intense. So movement under fire with a stack into here. So drawing a card, not wanting to see purple. Here we go. And no purple. Good. So these all cruise into there. And the LVT... No, we're going into here, Grant. We're going up the road. Well, here you go again, though. I'm moving into the railroad. I mean, Martin kind of felt like that shouldn't be right, that I should have to take a check. Because I'm not. I don't know. It's debatable, isn't it? Surely I'm moving up the road. Well, you did take a check the last time, Grant. You decided that you had to do it. Draw one card for each LVT not entering along railroad hexes. That's silly though, isn't it? I'm moving up the road. What is that? It's actually towns. That's like buildings, isn't it? Ooh. Oh no, there's no restriction. It's just a +1. I just noticed there's wee buildings in there. Not the black ones. The sort of grey ones. Well, I've got to keep it consistent with what I done the last time. Which kind of means... But see if I'm in this hex here, and I move into there, I wouldn't need to do that check because I'm moving along the railroad. But here I'm moving along the road. Why do I have to do... Okay, I'm going to make the check again, but I really don't think... I really don't think this is a necessary check, but again, it's the way things are worded yet again. What does it actually say in the rule book for that? Terrain AFE breakdowns. If there are 3 asterisks, draw one card for each LVT unit not entering the hex via contiguous railroad hexes. Surely you would... Something should be said there unless entered by a road. You would think. Well, hang on, Grant. Go back to that bit you were reading about roads, and where is that? Road strategic movement. A US AFV unit in a hex with a road may move any distance along connected roads hexes by expending 1 movement point. If that unit does not enter a hex within 3 hexes of a Japanese occupied position while moving by road, well, yeah, I mean, it would be entering that. And I have to stop anyway because I'm moving adjacent. So I get all that, but... You know what? If you did that while you were moving all... If all this was all free, right, and there was no Japanese units... And, you know, I was moving from here up this road and then up this road, and I'm moving in a railroad hex. Now I've got to stop and do a check for breakdown. You know what? I'm just drawing the card. I don't think it's right, but there could be something there to say, well, you're moving into a railroad, not from a railroad. So I'll just draw the card. Right, so it's a triangle on the unit. So if we draw a triangle, it'll be disrupted. There's a diamond, okay. So that was from there to there, wasn't Okay, this was disrupted, right? Okay, it was just that, and that, wasn't it? Yeah, that's right. That was important stuff. So all they moved in, no fire taken, no infiltration fire taken. But we've done the checks. Right, and then we've got this and this to kind of, yeah, hopefully I can wrap this up. Get all the movement without disruption removal anyway, or disruption movement, because we might consider some disruption preservation moves. So yeah, I think it's just them in there, right? Let me know what you think. Yeah, okay, I'm going to move these. Free action from that. We've got a tank under there. So he's well, not only is he moving into a railroad, he's moving into a woods as well. So there's a 1 asterisk for that, and then there's a 3 asterisks. The 1 asterisk does say LBT, so the tank wouldn't be affected by that anyway. Yeah, because the type is listed. Yeah, and it's not an LVT, it's a tank. However, it would have to check for going on into the railroad. Now, we're not having any issues there. We're moving from intense blue, red, and brown, which are all secure, and we're moving into steady blue and brown, so there's no issues there. 1, 2. Now, it's possible I could move the 2 hexes into there, but I don't think I want it. I think I just want to move into here, and then we would be able to support this attack on there. Hopefully the tank doesn't get disrupted. Right, so we're going to make the move into there, so the tank's going to have to check. So a circle. We draw a circle, he's going to be disrupted. We draw a triangle, good. We're getting lucky in the now with the cards. So he moves in there, fine, and then this guy moves into, that was a free action. Right, I think the last, everything else is disrupted apart from, well, we can't move. We've no actions left to move that, we've no actions left to move that. We do have this HQ to possibly consider. Well, you know what, I'll come back to the HQ, I'll look at the HQs before I finish off the movement, just in case, you know, just before I do the end of turn disruption removal or preservation move stuff. Okay, so, right, let's see what's in this hex folk, right? Okay, so that's what we've got in here. The tank, did he, yeah, he assisted with range fire, didn't he? Well, where to go, eh? Right, who's this? This is E28, so second, this is 2nd Battalion. That's first. Second there. I guess it's going to be second in here somewhere. Yeah. Ah, that's where second. Okay. Can we not join in there? He's probably going to remove his disruption. Now, he's sitting in green steady. That's the only issue. Sorry. So what's in there? There's a 3-step unit in the headquarters. So we could certainly get E28 in there to join them, couldn't we? That makes sense. We could even move that engineer in as well, I think. Yeah. I think so. And to be honest, the actual regimental HQ might be moving in there as well. Yeah, because to give support to these two. Okay, so I'm going to move... in fact, I'm going to move all of that. Well, let's not move the regimental HQ. Let's leave that there just now, again, to wait. Because we've got that in there. So I'm going to move this, and well, I'm going to move the engineer in as well. Let me, I'm going to get in the right muddle here. Careful, Grant. Right, the engineer moves in. These are all free moves. Then E2. Right, so that's one step. That's another 3 steps. That's 4. 6. And then he goes back in as the other 3 for 9. Yeah. So he's not had his action yet because he's disrupted. Okay. And that was free from the regimental HQ. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that this is going to move in there as well. And remember, it doesn't count for stacking, because then it still gives the tank an action. It grabs that, and still that. In fact, I think that's a no-brainer. Should we just move that? Yeah, because we're only going to remove disruption from this. Yeah, okay, I'm going to move the regimental HQ now as well. And we can't do that last bit till the end of turn. It's a big stack. Okay. Well, that's 50 odd minutes. I mean, yeah, I could push on and do more, but it is kind of late now as well. So I think I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, as far as I can see, that's everyone moved. Because like I say, we no other things we would consider maybe as this, but it would cost us an action. We don't have any. And this, which would cost an action, we don't have any. The rest of the stuff, well, apart from the regimental HQ there, we've already moved one of our regimental HQs. That one might move, possibly. I'm not so sure, to be honest. And then all the other stuff is disrupted, so it's either going to do disrupted preservation moves or remove disruption. And I'm right in saying that all happens at the end of turn, haven't I? I've got that right, Martin, I think. After all other actions have been taken, a disrupted unit may make a preservation move instead of recovering from disruption. Yeah, and I think if we look at 7.6, a US unit with disrupted marker may not perform any action except removal of their disruption marker or preservation move. All units must complete their actions during the US action phase before the player removes any disruption markers. Yeah, it was just a normal preservation move that I had in my head that I couldn't do until the end of turn, which was rubbish. Okay, right, we'll keep an episode to under an hour. What about that? I know there's maybe not an awful lot in it, but yeah. Well, a poor close combat to start with, but after that, I suppose the rest of the stuff went pretty smooth, didn't it? So, yeah. Now, you can see that's most of the movement done. Our third action phase there, and you can see that red dotted line, right? We don't have any units adjacent to that there. We have 3 units or 3 stacks of units adjacent to there. So you could possibly consider we might have 3 points. However, we're going to be able to trace communication into a beach hex. Now, yellow is firing into that beach hex, and I think even the fact that it's disrupted still doesn't count. Which kind of tells me that I've probably got 0 points there. And that's me all done, well, near enough done. I suppose we might have some preservation stuff. Maybe. Yeah, but that's not going to really help. I'm just like showing you where I am. I dare say Martin might have moved in a bit further with his game. Maybe, yeah, he might have done. Not dallied about so much. But I still definitely don't believe that that's a correct line. Anyway, okay. Right, I'll wrap it up for now. That'll be till tomorrow, but I'll still get a bit more in tomorrow. I know, John Brown, if you're still watching, I've still hung in with this, and There's been a couple of times where I've thought about it. Like I say, I do have my son and my friend coming up next weekend. Not this weekend, next weekend. So I think if I was to start, it would give me a reason to be able to use that table. That's the thing. So that's, I suppose, part of the reason. Might sound like an excuse, but not really, because this has been hard work. And I was enjoying Red Storm, so I'll get back to it. I will do. Right, I'll be back tomorrow with some more of this. Okay, cheers.